Okay, so I have a Next Level Racing F-GT rig with their nicer seat. I forget the model number, but anyway, I'm doing this because I wanted to share this. If anybody's trying to set up to where you have a single rig that can do racing and just regular, mouse and keyboard type computer games, this might be helpful to you. Sure helped me. Okay, so anyway, here I've got my keyboard, and I struggled with how to mount it to the rig. What I ended up doing is, these magnets are strong. I have 3 bar magnets on the back, okay? And they attach here, and I have a support that came with the FGT. I think it's for direct drive wheels. I ended up not needing it, but what it does a great job of is supporting the keyboard. And you can see I've just got it bolted up there, sticks straight out, and that keeps this side of the keyboard completely solid. Okay. This side is not as solid. There's no support under here, but the keyboard itself is so light, and the fact that your right hand is going to be using the mouse primarily, and your left hand that's going to be putting pressure on the keyboard is in general going to be in this sector. Even here though, it still works. It's not going anywhere. Those magnets are so strong, it's very difficult actually even to remove this thing. So anyway, I wanted to share this with anybody who's struggling on how to attach a keyboard in a usable way so that you can, play your first-person shooters and such. I wanted to share it. So again, keyboard, magnets, this little mouse tray thing that is really handy. It rotates away so that when you're driving, you still use your shifter, doesn't get in the way. And when you're playing, first-person shooter or whatever it is, you can use your mouse without difficulty, just like that, okay? This is pretty janky. I had to hot glue this. I think this is actually automotive trim. Anyway, anything will do though, just to keep it from sliding off, because when you're playing a first-person shooter, it's no big deal. But when you're driving and the wheel is shaking the whole rig a little bit, the mouse has a tendency to fall off. So put this little rim around there. You can come up with your own solutions. There's probably more elegant ways of doing it, but it works and it feels just fine. But yeah, so here we're in, normal desktop mode, right? And then if I want to race, just rotate that out of the way. Move the keyboard, put the keyboard back in its little gooseneck holder. Rotate that around, okay. And then take the wheel. And I'm not going to try to push this. Yeah, it's a Fanatic wheels. This is impossible to do one-handed, so I'm not going to try, but there it is. And I've got everything set up, no problem. And I can drive. I'm done driving. Take that off. Take that off the keyboard again. Just let the magnets snick on there. Rotate this, and yes. And I've been playing Space Marine 2, no problem with this setup. Works great. Armor Reforger, whatever. Everything works fine. And what this allowed me to do was to use my FGT rig as a desktop setup. By the way, the wheel, when you're actually playing, it doesn't get in the way. As you can see, my sight line, it's just above the wheel. But anyway, because what I was having to do is move the TV over there to that desk, and it was just a pain in the ass. And I've got a surround sound set up here that's really difficult to move around and reconfigure. This way, everything but my flight sims I can play from the FGT. All the driving stuff, obviously, but everything mouse and keyboard, no problem. Still working on how to attach in a usable way joystick and throttle quadrant. Don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but it might involve something attaching here and here on a temporary basis. Like when you're going to play the flight sim, you would have to attach it. Obviously, you couldn't leave it there. You can't even exit the rig if anything's hanging down here. But this is the key thing right here. This brace, which should come with your FGT if it's pretty recent, because it's the direct drive bracing kit or something. But I repurposed it with one of the bolts they included here. Just bolt that in. And it makes a nice little keyboard brace. Perhaps if I really feel the need, I'll come up with something I can put over here, excuse me, to brace the other side of the keyboard. But honestly, it's just not necessary. Between the magnets, 3 really strong magnets, and this, the thing just doesn't move. And it will not come loose. You have to really yank it off of there. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful to anybody out there trying to, like me, have a single rig for both mouse and keyboard type games plus driving sims. Really pleased with it. Saved me a ton of effort. Any questions, just leave a comment or whatever. I'll do the best I can to answer, what I did and, where I found this stuff. It's pretty easy though. I think if you just search for mouse tray, you'll find this pretty easy.